A smart home device is really just a small computer that has CPU, it has memory, connectivity, and a number of sensors. But the device manufacturers typically don't have the motivation, the incentive, much less the capabilities to build security into their devices. And typical issues we find are poor implementation of encryption, infrequent updates of firmware when vulnerabilities are found, and even hard-coded passwords that are hard-coded into the system itself. So, not surprisingly, we find many smart home devices are wide open to cyber attack. Our research team in the Dojo Labs group recently was able to hack into a home alarm system. This is an alarm system that is meant to protect your home from physical world attacks. They were not only able to get into the alarm and turn it off remotely over the internet, but they actually got access to the entire customer database, names and physical addresses. So think about that, tens of thousands of people who had alarms protecting their homes who were now vulnerable. So when you ask what can happen, there are real physical world implementation issues when you connect devices like alarms, cameras, baby monitors, smoke monitors to the internet. Represents real physical world risk. The other side of the coin is if I can hack into your smart TV, which at the end of the day is really just a computer, I can use that as a jumping off point for hacking into the PC, where now I can get access to your credit card information, your banking information, and other sensitive personal data. Well, the philosophy is quite simple: to bring enterprise-class network security technologies and approaches to the problem of cybersecurity in the home. But to do that in a way that is incredibly simple and straightforward for consumers. If you roll the clock back just 2 or 3 years, the typical home network was a couple of PCs, maybe a printer, a couple of smartphones. That was about it. Today, it's not uncommon for consumers to have dozens of devices in the home, all connected to the internet, and that number is only going to increase over time. But a business has the tools and the resources and the staff to configure and manage the security of their network, and consumers don't. That's the reason that we developed Dojo, to give consumers the peace of mind they deserve as they adopt smart home technologies. At Dojo, we're delivering cutting-edge, multi-layered cybersecurity technologies like network anomaly detection, IPDS, machine learning, but consumers aren't cybersecurity experts, and nor should they have to be. It's our job to package this technology in a way that's highly accessible. And we do this in 4 ways. First, the Dojo unit itself is very simple. You just plug in the power, plug it into your router, and you're ready to go. Second, the Dojo Pebble is a simple visual representation of the security status of your network. Third, you interact with Dojo actually through a simple chat application on your smartphone. So there's no new technology or app to learn. You simply interact as you would do with any other chat application. And fourth, at Bullguard, support is always available 24/7 through email, through chat, and during business hours by telephone as well. Dojo is continually learning about device behavior, not just in your network, but across the entirety of our customer base, learning to discriminate good behavior from bad behavior. So for example, if you have a Nest thermostat, a Nest thermostat really is designed to do a very simple set of tasks, sending small amounts of data back and forth to Google servers. If we start to see a Nest thermostat on one customer's network, all of a sudden sending large amounts of data to a server outside of the Google domain, well, we're going to flag that as anomalous behavior, automatically block that from happening, again, not just for that customer, but across the entirety of the network. So I have taken a very simple example to illustrate the much more complex problem of continual learning, continual enhancement, staying ahead of new threats as they emerge, and we do that through deep neural network learning across the entirety of the user base. Well, actually, security vendors are stepping in to fulfill a vital role. As I mentioned before, device manufacturers are typically optimizing for time to market, cost of goods, and security is really at best an afterthought. So consumers are bringing all of these new devices into the home really without an appreciation of the risks that that represents. So the security industry is fulfilling a vital role in filling the gap and staying ahead of the hackers and staying ahead of the threats. The reality is that device manufacturers aren't software companies, they're not cybersecurity experts, and in many cases they don't have the capabilities, much less the motivation, to actually build security into their products. But there's a lot more that they can do, from the basics of ensuring that users are selecting strong passwords, to correctly implementing encryption algorithms, ensuring that when vulnerabilities are found in their firmware, patches are created and issued to end users, to ensuring that the interfaces of their product, whether it be an app or a website or a cloud server, are properly protected against cyber attack. And they're going to have to start taking security more seriously, or they'll ultimately be forced to do so by regulators. And we're starting to see that happen in Europe, for example, with the promulgation of the IoT security certification and labeling scheme that's currently under consideration. And that will only become a more important part of regulatory concern as we start to see more cyber attacks against these kinds of devices. Smart home is a fast-growing market with literally hundreds of new products introduced every year with competing standards and platforms. So there's a huge opportunity for the channel in helping to educate customers about product selection and how to integrate a solution that's workable for the home. And trusted advisors are more important than ever in this complex market. They're important for the growth of the market and for end customer satisfaction and ultimately for end customer success. And especially through this complex purchase cycle, the channel has a pivotal role to play in helping to educate customers about the cybersecurity implications of these technologies and how to keep themselves safe. Well, Bullguard's channel program is really going through an exciting period of growth right now, going from strength to strength. We have over 40 partners, I think the latest count is 42, in our Advantage Plus program, and expect that to actually grow significantly with the 2018 intake. A couple of areas of highlight for us, continued strength and growth in the UK, which is a really exciting market right now, and we've been growing also internationally, have entered the German market, the DACH region, been hiring a new team over there who are doing amazing things and building a very strong network of partners. So channel is absolutely central to everything we do at Bullguard, and we look forward to continued growth and success with our partners as we finish up 2017 and go into the new year.